Hello. Sorry, just one last minute fix there. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren, and this morning is our recharge and restore practice. So welcome. We'll get started seated on the imaginary chair that I thought I brought over but didn't. So grab a seat first. I'll be right back. Yeah. So you'll need a chair, have a seat, a little bit of space. We're going to start nice and easy. Just get some mobility going today. And then at the end, we're going to do our breath. So find a nice comfortable place, sitting up tall, feet flat on the floor. Get yourself organized. Take a little breath there, in and out through the nose, and try to continue this morning's practice breathing in and out the nose. From here, we're going to gently lift a leg, rotate it. If it needs a little help this morning, get it back up on that other leg. And let's have that ankle bone right off the quad there. So my foot's hanging over the edge a little bit. I'm going to grip my toes, maybe move my big toe around a little bit, flexing it back and forth, a little bit in a circle. Then say hello to my index toe, moving it forward or backwards, middle toe, ring toe, and don't forget about baby toe. Find some space in between those toes, and then grip on to the balls of the feet and the toes and start passively taking your foot through a nice circle. That means that right now your hand is doing the work or your arm is doing the work and your ankle is just along for the ride. Carve out those full circles to one way. And then once you've done that direction, repeat in the other direction. Again, take your time. You might find you have to move a little bit with that upper body. If you have short arms like me, to reach towards the floor there. Last circle. Then come back to a neutral place. Take your hands and grip your shins. My ankle's still over. I'm going to grip my toes as if I'm holding a pen underneath them. So grip those toes down. Now from there, go to a full pointed foot. Keep those toes gripping. And let's slowly draw a circle towards the floor. So now our ankle and our foot is doing the work, not our hands. Full flexion, pulling that foot all the way up towards the shin, and then continuing that circle like you're pulling your foot up towards the ceiling behind you or your shoulder, and then continuing down to that pointed foot. Let's do 2 in that direction. Take your time. Are you still gripping that pen underneath your toes? And then at the same time, your shin should not be moving. The only joint right now that's moving is your ankle. Now, once you come back to that pointed foot, let's switch directions for 2. Up towards the ceiling this time, all the way around the corner, reaching that pinky side towards the floor, scraping it out. How are your foot cramps? Are they bearable? Keep gripping that pen. Last circle in this direction. Finish carving out that nice circle. Back to center. Let those toes open again. Try to find that space between the toes. Give them a little squeeze. And then stand up tall or sit up tall. Lift your leg. Rotate it. Place it down. Gentler than that. Same thing, second side. I'm up. I'm rotated. I'm over. Whoa, my tougher side. So we went to our toes first. Hello, big toe. Forward, backwards. Little bit of a circle in that big toe. And switch directions. Hello to index toe. Again, forward, backwards, creating that space before middle toe. How does middle toe feel today? Ring toe. And then opening up that baby toe. Can you get your fingers in between your toes? You should try that. Try that sometime. Get your fingers in between your toes. Leave those toes alone. Grip your hand to the balls of your feet and slowly start articulating your circle at the ankle. So again, ankle's quiet. Arm is moving your ankle around in a circle. 2 in that one direction. And then switch ways when you're ready. I'm really trying to hold my shin steady as I do this, pulling around that circle. And once I finish that up, back to center, Let your foot go, 2 hands on shins. Now, sitting up tall, grip your pen underneath your toes, point your foot, and then slowly articulate down towards the floor, around the pinky side to pull foot towards the shin, and then without letting that shin rotate, foot comes up towards the ceiling, and around back to that pointed foot where we started. Still grip that pen, same direction again, towards the bottom, foot pulls toe shin, all the way around the circle to point. I did 2 that direction. I'm going to switch ways and do 2 more. This time I'm coming up towards the ceiling, full flexed foot. Now pinky side down and scrape that out. Take your time. If you're skipping in any spots, take a couple extra seconds there. Don't let your ankle or joints skip those hard ranges. Finishing all the way back to that pointed foot. And then foot pulls to shin. Relax those toes. Give them a little wiggle. Sitting up tall, unrotate. From here, feet are underneath you. I'm going to give you a quarter turn so you can see my, oh, what a nice shift in light too. Quarter turn. I would like you to press your foot away from the floor so you're on the balls of your feet and your toe. Now, using your toe muscles, get to a pointed foot and then come back down to the balls of your feet. Back up to the pointed foot, back down to the balls. Think about pressing into the floor with all of those toes. I know your pinky's going to leave the ground because it's so short and little, but try to use it for as long as you can. 2 more. Point. I can feel a little bit of a cramp work coming on, but I'm going to try to keep going. Last one, full point with straight toes, then down through the balls of your feet, and imagine pushing down into a pop can to put your heel back down. We'll do the same thing on the second foot. So balls of the feet and toes are heavy. Now pry the heel up, then use the toes to point, and then slowly back to balls of feet. As you're going through that point position, check out your toes. They should be pretty straight versus crumpled and folded over. So point, try to get tall and long on those toes. Don't crumple them. Last one, point. And then down through the toes and push that pop can or crush that pop can under your heels. Good. Tally tall. We're going to come back to our figure 4. This time, let's be a little more strict as we pick up that leg. Sitting up tall, leg lifts, rotates. Try to stay tall and find that other leg. I almost got there. And then adjust as needed. This time, foot is going to be in line with the outside of the quad. Sitting up tall, hips stay stationary. Think about pulling your knee towards opposite shoulder or towards your midline. And then drive down and push that knee away, but with its own power, not with your hands. Knee towards opposite shoulder and drive down and push away. As I'm doing this, my bowl of punch or my core is staying stationary. The only thing that's moving in this is the femur in its socket. One last time, pulling up, driving down and away. Good. Now let's bring it back up to center. Think about lifting your foot off your leg, through center, flexed foot, place it down. Same thing, second side. Get organized, lift, rotate, try to be strict, 3, 2, and then use some help if you need to. Foot in line with quad again, tall, tall, bowl of punch or belt line stays level as you knee towards opposite shoulder, and then own power, pry it down. Knee towards opposite shoulder, and pry down. Still all while maintaining that tall, long spine. Remember, the closer to the floor you are, the harder this is going to be. So getting your hips up higher will make it a little bit easier. Now pull that knee towards the chest, unrotate in its socket, place down. By the way, if you wonder what I keep looking at, I put my teleprompter over here. Should have put it over here. And by teleprompter, I mean chart paper and Crayola markers. All right, rib rolls here. Give you a little side profile again. Stay seated, sit up tall. I like to cross our arms across our chest. Let's explore our ranges first. We're gonna stay tall. Think about lifting our ribs up, but not shrugging our shoulders, just growing up. And then do a little lateral side bend like you're getting up and over the fence. Now use that long side and pull yourself up to tall. Repeat on the other side. Get up and over and breathe. And then pull yourself back up to tall. Now, we're going to think about flexing forward. So chin stays tucked slightly, but not crunched, looking at the floor, just slightly tucked. And do a little rib roll forward. Now, check in with your blades. See how mine kind of rolled and came forward too much? I'm going to pinch my blades together, but still try to round my spine. And then keep your blades where you are. Lift your chest up. And now think about extending up and over the shelf behind you. Again, check in with your head and neck. Don't crank it up to the ceiling. Keep it looking forward. Pull back to center. We're going to link those a little bit, doing a nice roll through. I'm in center. Tuck my chin. Come back to that forward flex position. Check out your shoulder blades. Retract them. Then from here, I want you to add a rotation one direction. Rotate. Now side bend to that new back corner. Shoulder goes towards that back corner. Then we come around for our extension up and over the shelf behind us. We're extending through that upper back, not our low back. We find a new corner. And then we'll rotate towards that side and pull ourselves back to center. Let's do the same direction again. Start tall. Tuck your chin. Forward flex, rotate, side bend to that new corner, extend up and over, and then you're going to side bend to that other corner, rotate and flex and round to center. Then tall. Two more, other direction. Change my perspective here. Yep. Rotate. Oh, chin tuck slightly. Nope, Lauren. Forward flex. Rotate. Side bend off that back corner. Lift up and over. And then find that new corner. Rotate and round, pulling yourself back to center. Last time, I like to reset every time. So reset tall, chin tucked, blades back. Last time. Rotate, back side bend, and then up and over. Find your new corner. Rotate and flex to round to center, and then pull yourself up tall. Shake that out. Hopefully that feels nice through that mid upper back. We're going to come to standing now, but keep your chair or your box available. I'll stay center here, but I would normally move over to a balance aid just to have some stability. So if you'd like to hold on to something, or if you have a chair, you can hold on to the back of the chair while you're doing this. Standing tall. We're going to bend. Maybe I'll give you a side profile. We're going to bend a single leg. Quads stay in line. Try to kick that butt for a couple seconds. 3, 2, and then slowly pull that knee forward to hip flexion. Extend the leg out straight on your box. Your chair. Now from here, I'd like you to rotate. So that leg is actually going to slide forward and, whoops, sorry, that makes a sound. And our hips are going to rotate open as well as our shoulders. Add a little bit of that rotation, but that other leg is stationary forward. Pull back to center. And now can you rotate over top? So now the leg is going to kind of suck back into its socket and you're going to try to rotate the other direction. Back to center. Let's do that one more time. As you rotate away or open up, your leg on the top of the box is going to reach, rotate, and then as you come through center, that leg is going to pull back behind you into its socket. Now, stay center, so get organized center-wise. hips are level, foot is in dorsiflexion. Now or flex foot, toes to shin. Now from here, externally rotate or show that inseam towards the ceiling. And then come back through center. And we're gonna internally rotate on that femur. So trying to hide the inseam. Repeat. Look at your foot. Pull it to your shin. Keep your index toe and your big toe in line with your shin as you externally rotate. That means that you won't fake it with your ankle. Then come back to center. Internal rotation. Again, check out where those toes are. Just keep them in line. Back to center. Now drag that foot across your step. Pull it to hip flexion as high as you can, keeping those hips level. Hold. Try to kick your butt here as well for 3, 2. Now keep kicking your butt as you extend the leg out the back. Keep kicking. And then keep the quads parallel as you straighten the leg and it ends up underneath you. Whew. Shake it out. Same thing, second side. Standing tall. Second leg comes up on the step. Foot in dorsiflexion. We did our rotations first. Just make sure I have enough room there. As I rotate, I'm gonna open up and that leg slides away from me as I open. And then I'm gonna come back to center, and as I come back to center, that leg pulls back in its socket, and I'm gonna try to over-rotate. Pull back to center. One more time, leg presses away and shoots out. And then pulling back through center, leg sucks back in, little counter rotation and to center. Now get reorganized, hips level, flexed foot, externally rotate again, inseam up towards the ceiling. Back through center, inseam hides. Check out index and big toe. Back to center. They should be in line with that shin bone and not reaching out like that to the side, especially as we come internal rotation. We like to see people try to reach with those ankles. No ankle reaching, femur rotation. Back through center. Drag the foot off the step, pull it high. Try to kick your butt even while you're here. Then keep kicking your butt as you brush your knee back. Behind you, quads are parallel. Keep kicking. And then slowly straighten the knee. Whew. Nice. One more drill for our hip flexion. Stand again, you're still in front of your chair. You're gonna bend back that first leg. Now stay here. Can you try to get that heel towards your butt? Are your hips forward? And how is your low back? Are you trying to do so much that you're arching? Or is your core engaged? 3, 2, now keep that deep knee bend as you pull up and let your foot land on the step. From here, take the same arm as that leg and place the hand on top of the quad. Pack your shoulder or retract your shoulder and engage that lat by juicing an orange in your armpit. Now push down on your leg and lift up on your leg. So your leg is trying to do this and your arm is stopping it. Ready, set, go. Leg is pushing up, arm is pushing down, core is staying braced for 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax, but don't go far. I actually felt a lot of work in that standing butt cheek, as well as that hip flexion. Same idea, but let's cross the body this time. So take your opposite hand, place it on your knee, pack your shoulder, stand up tall, root yourself, push down, push up, push down, push up. For 5, feel that cross body connection. 4, 3, 2, slowly relax off. Let's actually lift up the knee this time, as high as you can without that tailbone starting to tuck underneath you. Then keep that knee, deep knee bend, brush it back behind you, hold, and then slowly extend and relax. Woo. Same thing, second side. Tall, knee bends, kicks butt, holds. Keep trying to kick your butt, remember, abs. Now, pull that leg up towards flexion, Foot's gonna find the step. Level hips. Hand on leg, same arm as leg. Leg pushes up, arm pushes down, pack shoulder, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Was it as easy on this side as it was the other side to gain that flexion, that strength? Now cross the body, pack the shoulder, core tension, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly ease off the tension, but this time pick the leg up, flex foot, deep knee bend. Now brush it back behind you, hold, keep trying to kick your butt, and then slowly straighten the knee underneath. Whew, nice. Move your chair off to the side. We're gonna come to the floor for a little bit. I'm gonna get a light knee pad here. Do. Find some room. We're gonna come down, no rules right now. Come down to the floor to warm up our wrists. So nice soft landing. Whether you're facing me or facing sideways, hands are gonna come out, gripping the floor. Now check in with your fingers first. Pinkies are down, ring fingers are down, middle fingers, index, thumbies. Grip heavy into those. Head is neutral. Rotate your blood donations forward or your elbow pits forward, and then rotate them back. As you do that, are your shoulders staying stationary? So we shouldn't be feeling those shoulders coming up to a shrug. They should be staying where they are. Last rotation forward. Now this time, keep your fingers gripping your elbow pits forward. Slide your blades up into your ears, and then pull your blades down into their lats. Repeat. Slide your blades up like you're shrugging, saying, I don't know. And then pull your shoulders down into your lats. Juice the orange in your armpit one last time. Straight elbows. Elevate, and then depress. Now, to get off of the floor here, we're gonna push up into those first knuckles, meaning the palm of our hand comes off the floor, but our fingers stay down, our thumbs are off, and then use those fingers just like we did our toes to push away from the floor. Shake that out. We'll do a little interlude of some hip flexion, and then we'll come back to our wrist. Take a single leg, bring it through and up. You don't have to rotate, in case you were wondering. Up tall. In our lunge position. I'd ideally like you to have your back toe tucked. If the knee really can't handle it, we can have it untucked. But either way, make sure that the ankle is in a nice straight line and not winging out side side. Okay? Have a little glance back there. Now, my front foot is gripping and my front shin is vertical. I'd like you first to hike your hips or pull them up into the socket. Pull them up and then pull them down. Repeat that again. Hike a hip, pull it down. Now I want you to tilt your tail to the ceiling, or like you're tipping your punch out the front, and then tuck under by squeezing that back glute. Keep those hips nice and level. Keep squeezing that back cheek. Drive down and pull on the floor. Stay tall. Keep squeezing that back cheek. You might actually drift. That knee's gonna come towards over the toe. Get there, pause, take a breath, relax for a second, but stay where you are. Then, level hips, tuck under, squeeze that back cheek, drive down and pull on the floor. Maybe you have a little bit more room to drift forward. Keep squeezing, keep extending that hip. Now, keep that tension as we push down and forward to end up going back to where we came from. As we come back, keep pushing that back hip forward so you're meeting it at tall. Hold that tension here for 3, 2, slowly relax. Whew. Pull that leg underneath, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Bring the other leg up, whoosh, tucking that back toe, level first. Let's hike it, pull it down. Hike it, pull it down. Then tilt forward or spill the punch out the front, tilting the tail to the ceiling. And then tuck under by squeezing that back glute. With all that level position in our front shin vertical, keep that. Keep squeezing that back cheek. Pull on the floor. Slowly start drifting forward. Knee might come over the toe. Keep squeezing. Now pause. Stay where you are. Relax for a second. Regather tension by squeezing and tucking. Back cheek tight. Drive down. Pull the floor underneath you. Slowly drifting a little bit more forward. Holding. Keep squeezing, keep tucking. Now, keep squeezing, keep tucking, but push forward to go back. Meet yourself in the middle here. Keep extending this hip for 3, 2, and then easy off. Whew. Bring both knees underneath you, and let's come back down to our wrists. This time, I'd like to rotate both hands so their fingers face you. If this is too much with both hands like this, do one hand at a time and just put one hand on normal. So if we're here, fingers go down, palms of hands come down. From here, oh, spread those fingers out. There we go. Pinkies heavy, ring fingers heavy, middle, index, biggie. Shoulders slide up into their ears, shoulders pull down. 2 more. Shoulders slide up. Head is neutral looking at the floor. Shoulders slide down. Last one. No spine movement, just those blades. Now push those fingers heavy into the floor and slowly sit back. That should be a pretty big stretch up the front of those forearms. Pushing fingers heavy into the floor. Now start to slowly bend the elbows. Then peel the palms of the hands away, and then the fingers are the last to leave as they flick the ground. We're going to come back up to our lunge. Yes, I'm going to face this way for you. So one leg comes in front. Level those hips. Then take that leg out to the side. Your side, for me, that's only here. If I go any further, my ankle's doing the reaching, my hips start to open, my knee starts to fall in. So I'm off only about 45 degrees here. Knees in line with toe, ideally back toes are tucked. Stay tall. We're gonna rotate and hinge like we do on our get up. So chop that hip back, rotate, hand finds the floor. Now, from here, look and rotate towards the screen so you can see. We're pushing the floor away. This arm is crossed across my chest. That's the same arm as the leg that's bent. Rotating open. Now, I'd like you to rotate your shoulders close towards the floor. Keep that bottom arm packed in the shoulder so that the blade doesn't jut out into your ear, your back of your shirt. So keep that shoulder packed. We're going to rotate open again, but this time I want you to stay looking at your hand. So eyes on your hand. Head stays looking. Try to rotate your upper body open. Take a breath. See if you can rotate further. Then back through center. You're still looking at your hand. Rotate to close as if you're closing your shoulder towards the other elbow. One more time. Exhale, rotate open. I'm still looking at my hand, pressing the floor away. Pulling back to center, and this time trying to close, rotate. Don't move your head. Back to center. Push the floor away, extending your hip. Walk your foot through center, pull it underneath, switch sides. Same thing, second side. Foot comes up, lunge. Tucking back toe. Opening up. You're open. Chop. Rotate, hand finds the floor. That hand should find the floor about that elbow distance away from your knee, if you'd like to check that. Grip the floor with your hand. Cross the other arm across. The first time we let our head rotate open. So let's do that again. Rotating head's gonna move with you this time. Shoulders try to get stacked as you rotate. Then pull through center. Keep that proud shoulder on the bottom arm as you rotate shoulder towards other elbow. Back through center. This time, eyes look on the hand on the floor. Keep that head looking down as you rotate your rib cage open. Through center. Try to cross rotate. Oh, my head keeps drifting. One more. Exhale, rotate open, press the floor away. Breathing. And last one, pulling closed, crossing the body a little bit. Then through center, push your hand away, up tall, foot, heel toes through, come back underneath. I gotta come back to those wrists. We have one more wrist stretch I really like, and that's coming down to our fists. So make those fists and come onto your knuckles. I'm pretty close. I bring my knees pretty close to my hands for this one. The further away, the more work or the bigger stretch it's going to be, more load. Now roll over the back of your hand, opening your fingers up wide, pinkies on the ground, thumbs on the ground. Pack your shoulder, try to rotate that donation forward, keeping your shoulder out of your ear. Now push the back of the hand into the floor to get back up to your fist. Other side. Roll over the back of the hand, opening those fingers up, donation trying to go forward, pack the shoulder, and then push the back of the hand in. One more time. If you want a little extra, keep that fist tight as you roll over. That means don't let those fingers open up. Even try to keep thumb gripped. Mine tried to straighten. It's really hard to bend. And then floor pushes away, back to stack knuckles. Last time, roll over, keep that fist if you're gonna keep the fist. Roll over the hand. Oh yeah. Feel that stretch up through that fuzzy part of your arm. And then push the floor away. Let's extend up, hips come through. Toes tuck. With or without your hands, watch your surroundings. With or without your hands, come up. Let's try to stay on our toes here. If we could stay on our toes, could we stand up, staying on our toes? And hold this balance. Pushing the floor away, kneecaps pulling up, glutes squeezed, abs braced. You're in a straw hold. 3, 2, and then keep your knees straight. Keep your toes heavy and slowly lower your heels. Knees straighter, toes heavier. Heels down. Relax. Did I catch you? Were you bending your knees? Were your toes coming up? I thought so. All right, some two-legged hinges and some push-ups. Sounds great. With a bell or an imaginary bell, I'm not even going to use a bell, stand with your feet slightly wider than your hips. Up tall. Let's root ourselves in the floor before we go anywhere. That means grip with your toes, pulling those arches up, creating this nice shape versus rolling in. Grip those feet. Pull your kneecaps up, squeeze glutes, brace abs, stand tall. This is going to be the top of our hinge position. Now you're going to have to relax your cheeks a bit, chop your hips, send your hips back, keeping your shins vertical. Your toes should still be heavy on the floor. Those arches are engaged. Our shins are vertical, head's neutral, spine is nice and long. Think about that nice core brace all around your body. Now drive down and out on the floor to extend your hips up to tall. Root yourself again. You should be strong here. Now relax for a second. Chop hips. Hips go back. Chins slightly tucked so our head's nice and long. Feet are pushing into the floor. Now drive down and out and extend those hips up tall. Brace your tree trunk. One more. Hip hinge. Shins are vertical. Let's hang out at the bottom here for a second, because now we're going to tip forward, break some rules, and walk ourselves out to our push-up position. Hands in our push-up position, either from our toes or from our knees, wherever you are. Pull your shoulders down. Keep your hips up. Slow descent. 5, 4, 3, 2. Everything lands on the ground at the same time. Tuck those hips up as one solid unit. Toes tuck. Knees lift. Step your feet back to those hinge stance apart. Try to tilt your tail long to the ceiling. Don't even worry right now about straightening your knees. Just tilt your tail long to the ceiling. Breathe. Now slowly start walking your hands back to your feet. Your heels will find the floor. You should be back to that hinge position. Extend hips. Stand up tall. Great. You know what we haven't had in a while? Quick drink. Got a little parched there. Wet my whistle. Then we're going to get back to our hinges. But I'd like to work on our 2 legs. If that was good for you, work on your 2 legs again. If we want a little bit more, let's transfer our weight and get into our single leg hinge. Stand tall. Root yourself down first, squeezing glutes. Now, chop those hips back. Nice long spine. Pick a leg. Transfer weight over that leg, but don't let the core or anything else change. And then reach the other leg long behind you. That front shin should still be vertical. Spine is long. Then drive down. Extend your hip, bringing your leg through all the way to tall. Step your feet back out to your hinge position. Repeat other side. Chop your hips. Get nice and long. Transfer load to that single leg. The other side now. Nothing changes. Reach long. Stay square. And then extend up and through. Hip drives through. Step. Repeat again. One more time each side. Chop. Hinge. Transfer load. Create that tension. Supporting in that glute hip. Reaching long. And then drive through. Extend. Step. Last time, second leg. Chop. Transfer that load. Reach long out the back. Find stability. And then drive down to extend to tall. Step your feet out to your hinge again. We're going back down, push-up number 2. And by push-up number 2, I mean we're going to do 2 this time. Chop your hips. Hinge. Walk yourself out. 2 slow push-ups down. Here we go. 10 seconds this time. 10, 9, 8, 5, 3, 2, 1. Soft landing. Retuck hips. Push back up to that tall position, either from the knees or the toes. Repeat again. 10, 9, 3, 2, soft down. Pack those shoulders. Last, up. Step those hips to this hinge stance. Tilt your tail to the ceiling, creating that nice long tailbone. So if you can see me, we're here versus rounding under. Tilt the tail to the ceiling. Start walking your hands back. Extend up via hinge. I'd like to do 1 squat position, so coming out side. And then 1 more core, finish with our breath. 3 more moves here. Stand wider than you would in a squat, toes slightly out, so our sumo squat. Now, tall. Let's just explore our squat this first time by tucking under and pulling ourselves down. Hanging out here. Could you shift weight a little bit? What's sunny in that window? And then drive away, pulling yourself through to the other side. Pull through center. And then drive down and away to stand up tall. All right, we're going to do that again. We're going to hang out for a couple seconds. Tuck under. Pull yourself low. Hands on the inside of quads. Legs drive in, arms push out. 5, 4, 3, 2. Pry your legs off your hands. Try to sink a little lower. Hands on legs. Repeat. Push in, push out. 5, 4, 3, 2. Pry legs off. We have one more. Sink. Last time. Push in, push out. 4, 3, 2. Legs pry off. Now drive down and out to stand up tall. Whew. Step together. Shake it out. We're going to do one walkout to our high plank hold for 10 seconds. We'll slow push up down. We'll flip on our back and we'll finish with our breathing. Chop your hips. Walk yourself out to high plank position. That's different for me than in my push-up position. In my high plank, my hands are under my shoulders. Hips are lifted. Shoulders packed. Squeeze your glutes. Brace your core. Pull the floor together underneath you. You're a tree trunk again, but this time you're horizontal for 4, 3, 2. Step your hands wider if you need to. Come down to your knees if you need to. Slow push up down. 3, 2, 1. And then roll over onto your back. I like to lie with my knees bent, feet flat on the floor when I'm on my back here. Oh, I should. All right. Get organized. Feet are gripping the floor. Our low back is slightly off the floor, but our core is still a little bit engaged. Our chin is tucked, so we have a nice long spine. Close your mouth and start breathing in and out through your nose. Place a hand on the belly and a hand on the chest. As you just get started here, you can hear that I'm breathing. A push-up took my breath away. Which hand is moving as you start this breath pattern? Is your bottom hand? Or is it your top hand and you're breathing into that chest? We're going to do a little bit of both here. Let's start getting that back into our belly. So on this next one, take a nice inhale into belly for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat again, into the belly for 4, and out for 4. Now repeat, but into the chest for 4, 3, expanding all ways, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, into the chest for 4, and out of the chest for 4. Let's come back to the belly, into the belly for 4. Hold your breath for 4. Take another inhale, but into your chest for 4. And then exhale for 4. Repeat, belly for 4. Hold 4. Chest for 4. Exhale for 4. Same pattern, slightly different. Inhale into the chest for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale into the belly for 4. Full exhale, 4. Same pattern, into the chest for 4. Hold for 4. Belly for 4. Exhale for 4. And relax. Whoa, that was great. Oh, I guess I have to sign off. Whew. Thanks for joining me this morning in a recharge and restore practice. I'm Lauren. This is Bars and Bells. Thanks for being a member. And if you're not or you have questions about it, check out our membership homepage, barsandbells.com/bells. become a member. We'll see you tomorrow morning for some more fun and games with our body weight. Thanks for coming. See you next time. Bye-bye.